Hi everyone, you're welcome to Tolu's Corner, a lifestyle podcast. If this is your first time joining me, I'm glad to have you here. You're in the right space and I guarantee you're going to have a good time. To my amazing listeners, thanks for joining me once again. You know how we do it. Get ready for an amazing conversation. In every field, there are people that we look up to as role models, pathfinders, and the like that have gone before us, and we look up to them to get blueprints as we're about to go through that same process. Before I started podcasting, there's someone I looked up to that was that was making podcasts, and I spent a large chunk of my time listening to him, and I got inspired. So I reached out to him, we talked, he made me know the process, walked me through he walked me through the process and he showed me the ropes. Even the name Tolu's Corner was one that helped me pick it out. So I'm very honored to have him on my episode today. Let me not say too much. I would love him to introduce himself and tell us what he do. I'm glad to have you here, sir.
Thank you very much, sir. It's good to be here, and I won't lie to you, I don't even know. These things you're saying, they are new to me. I didn't even know I was the one that suggested the name Tolu's Corner. So I must say, Tolu, you are doing an amazing work.
Thanks,
every
sir.
time I see your video, every time I hear you, I'm always excited, and I want to appreciate your listeners. Thank you so much for supporting my brother, and it's good to be here. My name is Akinboye Akinpelumi. I promote Jesus lifestyle. I'm a blogger. I'm the founder of Believers Companion, the gospel music download and review blog, and I'm very happy to be here.
Pleasure is mine, sir. So the first thing I would like to know, obviously when we are all growing up, we all had different future admission, and blogging was not one of the popular things. Yeah, there's lawyer, doctor, engineering. Those are the ones that are very profound. So how did your interests for blogging and tech-related things start?
That's a very good question, Tolu. Thank you very much for that question. You see, I hope this answer I'm about to give, I pray that God will give our listeners the depth of understanding to decode it so that it will be very useful to them. Growing up, I never had a future ambition. Yes, I was not living a useless life. I am very proud of my teen age and the things I did, and I'm very proud of the things I'm doing now. And to be sincere with you, when you ask some kids, probably age 5, 10, 15, they will tell you, I want to be a doctor, I want to be a lawyer, things like that. I have never had anything. In fact, if anybody had asked me them, I'm very sure I would have been blanked, because I'm not that person that have a future ambition. But this is what I had. Everything that I have found myself doing, I have always put in my best to do it well. For example, growing up, I always imagine it that, okay, so people who become doctors, they go to school, they have good grades, so they become doctors. Okay, if that is the case, I'm in school, so I'm going to put my best here. So because I have that drive at a very, very young age, everything I found myself doing at growing up, even till now, I have always put in my best. For example, growing up, if you know me now.
Yes,
you know,
sir.
we grew up in the same neighborhood and everything. A lot of people thought I was going to become a movie star because we were part of the drama group in church, and we were performing from churches to churches. They used to invite us. We grew up in Jobaras. We travel as far as Badagry to go and perform stage drama. You know, myself and my best friend Dami. People always thought we were going to become great movie stars, but look at us today. Do you understand? But you will never find me then saying, oh, when I grew up, I want to be a movie star. Do you understand what I mean? But that was what I found my hand doing, and I put in my best, and I was putting my best, and people saw the best. People saw the dedication, the creativity, and everything, and they predicted that we were going to be a movie stars. But then we never pursued it as a career. The same thing with football. When I was playing football, my mom used to come to the field to watch me. You know, everybody around thought I was going to be a footballer. They thought I was a great footballer. Of course, I never thought I was a great footballer. When people talk about going to Europe, becoming fantastic footballer, creating a career out of it and everything, it's blank to me, because I never imagined that where we grew up, how we grew up, somebody will come and say, oh, I want to take it to Europe to play ball. It looks funny to me. Do you understand? So I never see it as something that I will say, oh, in 2 years I will be in Europe playing ball. Like, for example, let me cite this example. This Nigerian footballer Paul Onuachu, we used to play for the same football team, Youngsters. It's called Youngsters. Our training field was under bridge, where the trade fair complex is.
Yeah.
That's where all of us used to play football together, But I never imagined that any of us will make it to play abroad or play for the Super Eagles of Nigeria. And a big shout out to Paul Noachu. Of course, we call him a Billy then. He was very skinny, and Ebona, he looked huge and everything. So to answer your question, I have never imagined myself to be a blogger. What is a blogger? Nobody knows what it was back then.
Yeah.
But every single thing I found myself doing, I've always put in my best, and that was it. That was it for me.
So how did your now you're the CEO of Believers Companion.
Yes.
How did that start?
Okay. So before Believers Companion, there was School News Ninja, and there was Ninja Original. These three platforms were the platforms I created. I put in a tweet recently. I think I said when I was 16, I created School News Ninja. When I was 23 or something like that, 23 or 24, I created Ninja Original. And in my 20s, actually, I created Believers Companion. And Believers Companion this year is 11 years that I have started, right? And so that's why I said I'm very proud of the things I did as a teenager, and I'm very proud of the life I'm living now to the glory of God. Believers Companion started from school. But before Believers Company, like I mentioned, there was School News Ninja. School News Ninja started when I gained an admission to a university. Back in the days, now when you write JAMB and everything, they'll send you email, they'll send you text message. Back in the days, when you gain an admission, you have to go to the school to check your name from the notice board or whatever. So my parents entrusted our education in the hands, or our admission in the hands of someone, right? That this person is going to feed us with information when your names are out. And we waited and we didn't get a feedback. This person had been paid. So I told my mom, I said, see, I'm going to, I want to go and check myself. She didn't approve, of course. I find my way, and I found myself in Osun State, went to the school, checked, and to my greatest surprise, they told me, sorry, you've missed the admission because the students have even resumed. In 2 weeks' time, they are writing the exam. They've even done matric. Where have you been? So the person in charge of checking the result, and I will check my result and say, you have, with all this result that you have, you should have been given admission. And I remember that I cried, and I told myself, I said, see, I will never be in this kind of situation again, and I don't want anybody to experience this kind of thing again. So when I came back to Lagos, of course, then it was Facebook that was very popular then. So I started looking for news about schools, admissions, and all these things. So I started posting it on my page on Facebook. If you go to my Facebook page, that's all you get. You get information every day. So people nicknamed me Minister of Information. So till date, some people still call me Minister. People be like, Minister. Those are people that knew me from way back, right? So I used to share this information every time. And from doing that, there's a friend of mine, big shout out to Ademola Alabi. You know Ademola now?
Yeah.
So all of us grew up. So Ademola was the one that said, this thing that you normally post on your Facebook, why not create a blog and just share it as a news? I said, what is a blog? He said, a blog is like websites where people go to read news and all this. I said, so I started learning. I started searching online. How can I create a blog? What do I need to do? And all these things. And back then, internet is not what it is today. Today, everybody have access to internet. Back then, you have to pay. You have to, buy maybe 30 minutes, 1 hour to browse the internet. And once your money is done, your money is done. So then we used to go to, there's this brother called Valentine. We call him Bros Val. His cafe is very close to the police station. So we'll go there, we'll buy 30 minutes, 1 hour. I was very young. I think I was 17, 16, 17, 14, 15, 16, 17, something like that. Then, so we'll go buy time and we'll browse the internet. I'll just check how to create a blog. Create my first blog called School News Ninja. So I started posting about schools and all. So from doing that, people started knowing me, getting information from my blog, which is School News Ninja. And from there, I remember the first time I made money. So someone reached out to me from Akwa Ibom, and the lady asked me if I could get information for her daughter who is interested in admission into the University of the Lagos State University, LASU. And I said, yeah, of course, I can help you get the information. So LASU was not far from my house then. So I went to LASU, I got the information for them, and the lady paid 25,000 naira for that information. And I was like, So I can make money from this thing. So like I mentioned, everything I found myself doing, I like to put in my best. So because of that, I started posting more, encouraging people to get more information, which of course I started putting some fee on some information. So I'll give you the information to a level, and said if you want more information about this thing, you pay XYZ amount, which in turn I started making small money from it. So from doing that, I was able to make some money, which of course, like a typical African mother, I took the money to my mother and she asked me, where did you get this money from? Right? And I tried to explain that people reach out to me online. I said, no, she wants to speak to the person that paid this amount for. So, of course, my mom speaks Yoruba and the woman speaks English. The woman does not understand Yoruba. My mom had to go and get someone, Brother Nayo then, to interpret what the woman was saying to her. So from there she understood that, okay, I'm not doing anything bad. Is the information I share online that people are willing to pay for. And then she asked me a very good question. What do you want to do with this money? So I told her that I want to use it. I want to go back to school. I was never out of school. My story is not, I finished secondary school, I was struggling. No. I always tell people, I said, I didn't grow up poor. I didn't grow up because this, to God be the glory, we never lack anything. I have never had to think of where my next meal was coming from. We were not rich, just like you know us now. You know us now. My mom sells fish. My dad drive trailer, so he's never around. But my mom is always around. So my dad can travel for months, and there was no telephone or anything. He would just come. He would breeze in, breeze out. Do you understand? So it was not. But we were not poor. Although sometimes our parents, what they can see, how far they can see is how far they can go. Do you understand? Their lifestyle, everything is limited by what they can see. So because of that, they will live the way they see fit. And people might look at you and think that you are this way, when in truth you are actually more than that. I don't know, maybe this makes sense to you, but that was our story. Now, growing up, I was the last born. I am the last born. I am the last born. And growing up, I happened to be the person that helped my mother keep her money. So I know how much this woman was making from her fish business. Do you understand? Like, I knew that we can live better than this, but this is what the woman had choose. So here we are. Do you understand? I know one or two times that my dad had returned from one of his trips. He had always been uncomfortable with the way we were living. He would say, why are you? But that's a story for another day. But I never grew. I was not poor. We were never poor. We eat 3 times a day. Do you understand? And we eat what we like. It was not as if we were suffering or anything. But like I said, their vision, both husband and wife, my dad and mom, for their life was what they used to raise us. So where they choose to live, how they choose to live, that was on them. That was how far they could see. The same way today, probably when my children grow up, they will say, for example, I don't believe in living abroad. I am here. I am not going anywhere because I believe wherever place I go to, I'll prosper. Maybe my children will grow up now. They want to live abroad. Then some people say, probably your parents were not that rich. That's why you did. I'm not poor. Do you understand? It's just my thinking. This is how I see life. This is what I believe. This is how I see fit. This is how I believe I should live to be able to do some things. I could live better and not be able to do some other things. But this is how I choose to live because I know that what I plan to do is bigger than whatever thing I'm doing now. Do you understand what I mean? The same thing applies to my parents. It's like a Yoruba proverbs that say, "Ọmọ tó ní bàbá òun ò là, ẹnu ẹ̀ ló wà yó." The interpretation is this: you that you look at your father and say, you are such a poor man, and you too, you have started the journey. Do you understand? So back to what I was saying, my parents they believe this is how they should live, so that they have 5 children, for God's sake, and they wanted the best for us. They wanted us to go to school. So there are a lot of things that they deprive themselves of, so that we could, in our little way, enjoy. Do you understand? So that might have limited them in a lot of ways, that probably people will look at them and say, maybe these people are not doing so well. But I can tell you for a fact, it was never like that. They were more than what they projected, and they raised us that way. And that is why today, if I get, you feel no. If I no get, you feel no. Because you understand, we were trained to be okay with whatever thing that we have at the time. You might be doing greater things, but stay humble, stay in your level. And that was what that was how they were living. So because of the, I don't know, maybe they were intentional about it, or maybe it was just circumstances, or that was how it was. We almost all of us attended the Polytechnic, because to them probably that was what they could afford at the time. Do you understand? Like, our firstborn, she went to Yaba Tech. Our secondborn, Osun State Polytechnic. Our thirdborn, Osun State Polytechnic. The only person that, okay, she was in Deniro Gusoya College of Education, and then me, I chose to go to a Polytechnic too. So because all this had happened, my brother, who had gone ahead of me, so that is the first person in my life that will ever tell me, no, don't do this. But he was not advising me. There's a difference between advice and condemnation. He was condemning me, that why will you choose to go to a Polytechnic? Why? I don't want to see you in that school. I mean, I don't like when people condemn me. I would not take it. So the way he was talking, I already know. See, I just told my mom, I said, see, when I lost that admission, they offered me the chance to go to a Polytechnic. I have written the exam and I have been selected. I've been admitted. I want to go to that school. This money that I've made from sharing this information, I want to use it to go to the school. Of course, she said, no, your brother said, okay, no problem. My sister, who we are very close, I have already explained to her. So she gave me 20,000 naira. Plus the money that I had, with some other money I've made, I packed my load to that Polytechnic that they don't want me to go to. Do you understand? Of course, my brother was angry and everything, but that was it. I was at the Polytechnic and I was there 2 years. I didn't come to the house, holidays or anything. I was in school. In fact, when I got to the school, they were on strike. I didn't come back. I stayed there. Say, I don't come. Do you understand that? So while I was there, I started getting more information about schools, posting online, getting information for people, making some money off it. Then my blog was monetized. I started receiving check from Google AdSense, and so I was okay, quote unquote. I was okay in school. I was making money. I was okay, and I was a teenager, right? And in doing all this, I was able to afford one or two things, establish myself, buy myself some gadgets that I needed at the time, a good phone and things like that. Of course, you are buying a good phone not because of what you are doing partially, but as a young man, you think those things were the things that you needed at the time. Of course, I was never the type of man that spend money anyhow. I was not raised like that, right? But what I needed them, and I believe I have the money to get them. I get them anyway. Do you understand? So that was it. Then school resumed. School work was overwhelming. It was a lot. You just have to settle in. I was doing computer science, so it was classes, tutorials, classes. So I didn't have time to update my blog anymore. So the blog suffered. It suffered so much that I had to let it go. But before I let it go, so one of the reasons why schoolnewsnaija.blogspot.com stopped was because I started another blog called NigerOriginal.com, where I was promoting secular music. Now, my house was not far from Alaba International Market. If you go to Alaba, you see boys with umbrella and everything. They share music, video, all these things, and they make money from it. So when I was on campus, I saw a lot of young people. They listen to music, and I was thinking to myself that, no, if I start sharing songs to people, I'll make money. So I'll go to the cafe, I'll download music, and I'll approach people. At my hostel was at BHS. Then they call the place BHS, not too far from the Polytechnic Junction, which they call Poly Junction. So I made a lot of friends, in school, outside school, the hostel, and so I'll tell them songs I go transfer songs to you and everything. So they started paying me money. I started making money from it. So I don't see any reason why I should be posting online, trying to get people to get information online. So I was making money in school anyway. So I'm here. I'm making the money here. So I'm good. And I'm attending school. I'm attending class rather. So when I'm in class sometimes, some people come to my department to get music. I get paid. I go back to the class. I'll be happy. I'll be cooking soup and I'm happy. Do you understand? So I was doing that. I was okay. Then from there, I have a friend who is a DJ. Shout out to David Akinpelumi. David started introducing me to some people, upcoming musicians who want to promote their songs, things like that. And I was making money from that also, promoting their song. They will do gigs in school. They will give me flyer to promote, things like that. And I was okay. I don't go out, but I'm in the house. I'm the guy with the computer making it happen, and everybody is just getting the songs. They are just happy and everything. And to the glory of God, I was my level then, I was doing fine, So from there, Nigeria Original was becoming a teen. Then, luckily for me, there is a particular song. Then it was huge in Nigeria. Then they wanted to do the promotion. Then and someone reached out to me, and I came to Lagos then, and I was fortunate to be in the same room with the owner of Naija Loaded, Too Exclusive, the Chocolate City Boys, MI, and the rest of them. They were having conversation. These people came to Lagos with a purpose. I mean, the Chalk Boys, MI and his brother, they came with a purpose. So their way of doing things was just different. They are more organized. They talk about business in a way that you have never heard of it before. And I'm looking at it like, is it the same blogging, this thing I'm doing that these people are? I think I don't know, unverified. I don't know. But I think Chocolate City, MI and the rest of them, I think they were the owner of Too Exclusive.
Okay.
The way they were talking, I think that they are the owner of Too Exclusive as of the time. I don't know of now. So they were so intentional. They were talking, and I was looking at it like, wait, this blogging something is what, okay, I'm going to put in I'm going to learn this thing. I'm going to ask questions. I'll get answers, and I'll make more money with this thing, So from asking, trying to meet other people, trying to ask them questions and everything, of course, you talk about your blog, you now show them the numbers that you are doing every week. And I think my blog was doing about 13 point something million downloads every month as of that time, which was huge. So a lot of people in that room pick interest. Wow, you're doing numbers. So from there, someone offered to buy Nigeria Original for 250,000 naira. For 200,000 naira. I eventually sold it for 250,000 naira. But the person offered 200,000 naira. I was like, can I think about it? Say, no problem. So I went back to Osun State then, and we exchanged contact, and we keep. I think it was BlackBerry BB pin that we exchanged there, so we chat and everything. So when I got back, before I traveled for that gig, my girlfriend as of the time, her name is Esther Orovari, she listened to gospel music. Nothing concerning her with secular music. Just she's a gospel music fanatic. Like, she listened to gospel music only. So she has been telling me, please now, try to upload gospel songs on your blog and everything. I do secular music. What it concern me? And I don't listen to gospel music because they are slow. They were very slow and everything. So I beg. But one time, I think our choir, because she lives in Oshogbo, our school was in Ire, so she normally travel almost all the weekends. And she was in the choir. I think she had bragged to her friends that, oh, don't worry, my boyfriend will put this song, you people will download it. So she came back to school, she was disturbing me, put this song. I think the song is by Kenny Corey. She was disturbing me, put this song on your blog now, people want to download it. I said, okay, no problem. So I just created one page of the song, and I gave her the link. She shared with her friends. So normally, till date, I still take time to look at the statistics of my blog, just to see which content is doing okay, which one should I put more effort in, and all. So when I was checking, I now saw the gospel song, over 12,000 something downloads.
Wow.
I said, Esther, come and see. People are looking for it. Say, hey, I told you. I said, okay, I'm going to create a blog for gospel music alone.
Okay.
Under one condition. And that condition is you will be the one to upload it because Nigeria Original is already taking my time. And then I have school. She said, no problem, just show me, I will upload it. Okay, no problem. So I showed her, I taught her how to upload songs, do everything. She was very happy, so she started doing that. Now we named that blog Unlimited Gospel Music Download.blogspot.com. It was a statement. Did you know? So we started, and she was doing that. I don't interfere. I just leave her to do her thing. I face my Nigeria Original until one day. That Sunday after I returned from Lagos.
Okay.
I've had a discussion with someone that wants to buy for 200,000. So I came back that Sunday. The church I was attending then is a Baptist church at the Polytechnic Junction. It's called Sanders Memorial Baptist Church. The pastor then was Reverend Bumio Balade. He invited a guest speaker, Dr. Olani Shebe from OAU. The man was on wheelchair. The man came and shared his life story with us. After he shared his life story, he said, some of you are here. God has given you a gift. You are thinking probably it's because you are brilliant, that's why you are able to do all the things you've been doing. But no, God gave it to you. God looked at you and said, I'm going to gift you this skill. And you've started making money from it, but I can assure you that if you decide to use this gift for God, you will make far more than anything you are making now. I knew that message was for me. And he said, if you are here, I don't want you to raise your hand or anything. I just want you to know that God wants to use your gift for his glory. And that was it. And I received that message. And at the end of the teaching, Reverend Bumio Balade said, if you have any question, please raise your hand. I raised my hand. I think I was the only one that raised my hand. And he said, okay, your question. Come to the front. So he gave me the microphone. I said, I don't have any question. I just want to say thank you, sir, for sharing your life story with us and for your message. If you know me, you know I'm not an emotional person. Yeah. I even get irritated sometimes. Some people be like, what is all this? And I started crying.
Wow.
I started crying in front of the whole church. And Reverend Bumi said, thank you so much. So I think he said they should clap for me or something. So people were clapping. I was just crying. So I went back to my seat. I was crying. When I got back to the hostel, I told Esther, I said, Esther, I'm ready. I'm not doing secular music anymore. Now it's just gospel that I want to do. And she now told me that she have a confession that the blog that we created, she was trying to do something. She had touched some things and the blog was not working properly anymore. So I said, okay, don't worry, I will look at it. So that was it. And of course, I reached out to the guy who wanted to buy Nigeria Original, eventually sold it for 250,000 naira, and that was it. But Believers Companion did not start immediately, right? So I was in school, I was rounding up with school and everything. So I think that was 2014. That was 2014, right? So I didn't start Believers Companion until 2015. 2015 I started officially, and today Believers Companion is 11 years. So that was how Believers Companion started. That was how what I explained before was how I got to know about blogging, what inspired it, how I started with School News Nigeria, how I moved to NigeriaOriginal.com, and today BelieversCompanion.com. To the glory of God.
Very interesting. There was one question I wanted to ask, but you've answered it, which is why gospel? Because for you to just decide to do gospel in this time and age is people are very skeptical to, most especially at that time. Like now, that is a popular thing, so to say. Unlike that time, it's very unusual to just specialize on gospel when there are other platforms to promote other kind of songs. So, but you've answered, you've touched that a bit. Now, your story, it's sounding as if it's very rosy and very smooth.
Mm.
But I want to say there are always, every entrepreneur, every startup gets experience setbacks and challenges. So what are the things that did not work for you? What are the things that you did that were challenges, and how did you overcome them?
Okay, thank you very much. That's a brilliant question. See, let me tell you something. Preparation is very key. Preparation is very, very important. Whether knowingly or unknowingly, the things you do every day prepare you for what is ahead. Like I said, when we started, I said I had no future ambition. However, anything I find my hand doing, Tolu, anything I find, see till tomorrow. See, right now, I have zero knowledge of medicine, right? I'm not a trained doctor. I'm not a trained anything. But if I find myself in the medical line today,
Okay.
day one, I find myself in the medical line, and this is it. This is all. This is all I have. This is what I need to do to feed my family and feed myself. Tolu, come back and check me in 2 years' time. I'll probably be doing very well in that field, because I don't know. Say now, this is it. Do you understand? So, if you are convinced that this is it for you, you have to put in your best. That is one. You have to stay grounded. You have to ask questions. Be eager to know. Be eager to know. Don't be eager to do. Be eager to know. If you are full of knowledge, you will do exceedingly well in anything you choose to do. Knowledge is key.
Yeah.
And these are the principles that has helped me to guide me, to hold me steady, so that I don't waver or I don't fall or fail. There are challenges. Challenges come every day. For example, I mentioned that when I was younger, there was no access to internet, right? So we had to buy time, 30 minutes, 1 hour, to browse the internet. The question is, as a teenager, where do you get money from? What I did not mention is this. Back in secondary school, any of my secondary school mates that is watching this right now can testify to it. I was the guy that writes notes for everybody in school. Your biology notes, your physics notes, your whatever note. Those notes that you don't want to write, that is too much for you, I will write it for you.
For money?
For money now, you pay me now. It was 20 naira then. Do you understand? Now, to buy 30 minutes then was just 15 naira. 1 hour was 100 naira. So if I write 5 notes, I can buy 1 hour. Do you understand? So I can, sometimes I write 10, I write 15. In fact, I write notes. My mom used to, my son, he will read and read. I was not reading, mommy. I was trying to make money that I can use to browse the internet. But the advantage is this, because I will write for you, I'll write for this person, the same topic, the same thing. So I don't need to sit down to read it again, because in writing it, I have read it. So when you bring the test or exam, I will finish it, because I have written this thing over and over. So the thing don't stick. Do you understand? So till date, I can't read anything without writing. Till tomorrow, I can't read anything without writing. You will see me with my pen and I will just be jotting out, because it was like a training, but I was trying to make money, but I was actually training for days ahead. Do you understand? So if you are somebody that you've find out that this is what you want to do, this is what God wants you to do, then stay grounded. Embrace wisdom. Embrace understanding. Get wisdom. Embrace understanding. Get wisdom. Embrace understanding. And the only way you can get understanding is by asking questions. And asking questions does not mean you have to start looking for somebody to ask. You can ask ChatGPT. You can ask YouTube. You can ask Google. You can ask your friends. You can ask yourself. Ask questions. How can I do this? How can I improve on this? I don't go and check my history, my ChatGPT, my Google. How can I, the time, I'm telling you, till tomorrow, how can I? how can, maybe one day I will create a blog called how can I.com. I'm telling you, because see, if you ask questions, I've always been that person that asks questions. I always ask questions to know, because some people ask questions to ridicule the person that is talking because they believe they know better. You see me, you just stay. I can be in a crowd and you will never know that I was there. But the thing I will take out of there will never leave me. In school, I was never the most brilliant. Go and ask. In fact, I did 6 years in community senior secondary school. Some people don't know me. My classmates, some of them don't know me. It's now that they say, we know you now. I know you don't know me. Do you understand? Because, see, when we did an alumni program where all of us came, I saw people asking that, who be this, who be that guy? Some people were trying to explain. We used to sit here, say, I never see this guy before. Because I was there 6 years. It's only few people that knows me, and the few that knows me, I remember Salisu. Salisu told me one time, we were in SS2 or about it. He asked me a question. He said, "You, why be say you just dey low key?" That was what he said. He said, you just dey like say you know dey here. I would just laugh. You know, that was me. That I would just be there, listening, absorbing. When I get home, I will press myself and I will have a lot to learn. Do you understand? And that is it. And that's how I live my life too. Do you understand? I love understanding. So I wait and wait and wait to get understanding. And that is the key. To the question you've asked, there are challenges. But when you have understanding, when you learn before you do, when you understand before you jump, you will jump better. You will aim. You don't even need to aim to jump better, because if you aim for this, you can eventually reach this if you have proper understanding. So that has helped me.
So you've invested a lot of your time, your youthful time, even from teenage days, into tech, so to say. Tech.
Okay.
Call it tech. Blogging. How long did it take you? Because this is, I'm sure this is one question that a lot of young startups would like to know. I'm investing my time into this thing, I'm doing this, but it's not giving me the result I want. So how long did it take for you to start getting proper recognition? Because now Believer's Companion is a big thing. So how long did it take you to start getting recognized?
Okay, so thank you very much. That's a very, very brilliant question. Very brilliant. And the reason why I said it's a very brilliant question is because we look at recognition as the pass mark to whatever thing we are doing. I don't chase recognition. I'm not saying this thing I'm saying this with all humility. I don't even think Believer's Companion is as recognized as it should. Of course, to the glory of God, Believer's Companion is recognized by a lot of people. Awards are there to show that, people appreciate what we are doing. They invite us for events. They call us for some things, which are some form of recognition. However, recognition was never something I was chasing.
Okay.
Let me leave it at that. That's one. How long did it take? I don't know. But all I know is every day I try to make it better. I try to make it better. I always ensure that anybody that come across Believer's Companion get the best experience. Every single day. That is my focus. So if you get the best experience from, maybe we promote your song and you get the best results, you will never forget us. So if another person is talking about song promotion, right, you will be the first to say, why not use Believer's Companion? They gave me this result, this result, this result. How long did it take us to get there? To be sincere, I don't know, because I was not checking. But I can tell you for a fact that it didn't start from year 1 or year 2. There are days that you look at the numbers and you're thinking, how can I get this thing to move? Especially when you have Nigeria Original that was doing about 12 point something thousand in 1 month before, or in 1 week before, and now you are doing this and you have less than 2,000. Now that is for the numbers. For the skill, the tech that you mentioned, there is nothing like perfection. You have to start. See, if you have an idea today, start, no matter how small. Like I said, I can't get tired of checking how to. I built Believers Companion from code 1 to code 3,000 and something. Out of how can I do this? Sometimes I go to other websites and see how it looks, and I'll just right click, inspect element, check the code, copy it. Thank God for ChatGPT now that has made life even easier. I'll just copy and say, rewrite this code for a blog called Believers Companion, a gospel music blog that I found this code on so blog that is into this, but I want it the same thing for Believers Companion for it will write the code. But thank God I studied computer science. That's why I said, see, God have a way of preparing you for what is ahead. You know, I said I don't have future ambition. And that was me. But God knows what he wanted to use my life for. And he was preparing me. From primary school, he was preparing me. Right? He was preparing me. That I studied computer science, I was not I was not the best in class. I had no reason to do science. Because I was not super brilliant. You know, during our time, it's the brilliant people that they put in science.
Yeah.
I'm okay with my art class. Do you understand? But one way or the other, that's a story for another day. Anyway, I found myself in science class. And because I am here now, I cannot fail. So I put in my bed, I struggled. But I will pass. But God was preparing me. Once I started learning computer science, I'll go to the library. I'll start reading codes while my people were preparing for exams. I was reading how to improve my blog. I'm not joking. I go to the library to check line of code. How can I change this to blue? How can I change this link to green? Those things were what I was. People used to say, you go to library a lot. Those things were what I was. I'm not joking. Right? Then later, I started learning Visual Basic 6.0 because I needed it for my project. Right? So all these things were preparing me for what is to come. So because I went through that exercise or through that life, I understood coding and all. So there's no bug that wants to come up on Believers Companion that I cannot fix by myself. And that is where preparation meets expectation, right? So those two things had worked for me. Preparation, meeting my expectation, and it's producing results. And those are the things that I think I will use to answer your question.
That's nice.
I hope I've been able to answer your question.
Yeah. I know you don't want to capitalize on your achievements.
There is nothing like achievement. There's nothing like achievement.
Okay, maybe because you've said that you don't set expectations. That is why you're looking at it that way. Congratulations, by the way. Earlier, we saw that Believers Companion got nominated again for Best Gospel Blog of the Year.
Yes, thank you very much. A big shout out to Climber Africa. Thank you for the nomination. I think the voting will start June 12th, I think. The program is happening in South Africa, and I'll be happy if you can vote for me and all of your audience. I'll be very happy. I'll share the voting link with you.
So let's talk about that a bit. I think, if I'm correct, the first time you won the award was in 2021.
Yes.
Okay.
Very correct.
Very correct. So there were a lot of categories then. I think ex-president Lord Jonathan was one of the awardees that night.
Yes.
And Believers Companion won. Obviously, when someone is nominated, the expectation is to win.
Yeah.
So that experience, can you take us a little bit into the experience, how it was like for you being nominated and eventually getting to win? I'm sure a lot of emotions would run. So kindly take us through it.
So first of all, I thought it was a scam. I will be sincere with you. I thought it was a scam because so they sent me a mail that congratulations, you've been nominated for an award. The award is happening in Abuja. These are the list of the people that will get an award. You know, some were not voting category. Our category was a voting category for ex-president Goodluck Jonathan. Their category was not a voting category. They've been they are just to come and receive the award and things like that. And I saw the list and I saw my name. I scroll back, I saw my name. So I closed it. So I left it, right? So after some time, they sent another mail that kindly confirm if you're coming to Abuja for the. So I said, I will be there by the special grace of God. Immediately I said, I'll be there. It was not up to... Immediately I said, I'll be there. It was not up to an hour, a phone call from the organizer.
Okay.
Hello, he introduced himself and everything. Oh, thank you for this and that. We will need you to send this and this and that. And I said, okay, no problem. So I sent it and everything. So nomination comes before the link to vote.
Yeah.
So I was waiting for the link. I was telling myself that if these people ask me to ask people to vote and pay money, I am not sending the link to anybody. So when they send the link and I check, you can vote without paying anymore, I said, okay, maybe this thing is legit. That was when I started checking what they've done in the past. So I saw that, oh, they've been to different countries, that is not just Nigeria. It's coming to Nigeria this time around. And I said, wow. So I said, okay. I started sharing the link and the voting continued. You know, the voting was for, I think, 2 months or thereabout. No, I forgot about it and everything. I never knew I would win. I won't lie to you. I just shared the link. I just encouraged people that please vote for me. So this is the thing.
Okay.
I have this habit of, you know, I mentioned that when I had School News Nigeria, if I put information out, I'll say, for more information, please send me a message. I still do the same thing today for Believers Companion. So for every song that I upload on my blog, I always put it there. If you will like me to share gospel song with you every day, kindly send me a message on WhatsApp. So I have a list of people on WhatsApp that I share gospel songs with every day. About 8,000 something now. I think the last time I checked it was about 8,700 people. Wow. So because I have this large number of people on my WhatsApp, it is very convenient for me. I mean, I share you gospel songs every day, without asking you for any favor or any money or anything. I'm just doing my thing. I'm just promoting the gospel. I'm just ensuring that people who love gospel get gospel songs. Now, I have been nominated for an award, and I put out a message to say, oh, your favorite blog, Believers Companion, has been nominated for an award. Please vote. You know, so I share the link. To my greatest surprise, I got a call that, hello, Believers Companion. You know, when I received that, after that call, I knew I had won. So they said, sorry, where are you based? I said, Lagos. They said, will you be available to be in Abuja on so date, or will you like to send someone, or will you like us to send someone to you after the event? I said, I'll be there by God's grace. You know, because from that conversation, I knew that I have won. I said, I'll be there by God's grace. So I started making plans, bought my ticket and everything, and I went. And to the glory of God, when they announced, you know, the room was filled with dignitaries, you know, politicians, you know, gospel musicians, people that I've looked up to for a long time, you know, and when they announced Believers Companion, I heard people clapping. You know, I didn't even come with... The only person that followed me to the venue was my brother and his wife. Yeah, my brother and his wife and their baby then. And when he said, and the winner is Believers Companion, I heard people say, oh, wow. They were clapping. In my mind, I said, wow. People are... I think this answered that question that you asked earlier too, of recognition that, oh, so people now know Believers Companion. And for a long time, a lot of people know the name Believers Companion, but they don't know me. Do you understand? Like, I've been in church before where someone was telling another person that, this song, I downloaded them from Believers Companion. I just smiled. You know, I just smiled like this. And I was there. I was seated like right there. So at that point, I collected the microphone. I gave a speech. I can't remember what I said, but I know I thank them, and I thank my brother. I thank everybody that had voted and everything. And it dawned on me that, okay, this is more than sharing of link. This is a ministry, and you have to treat it as such. You know, I told you I don't have future ambition. Assuming I have future ambition, I'll start thinking, oh, this is this. Let's start doing this. I know they do that kind of thing. I take things one step at a time, and to the glory of God, God is helping us.
And He will continue to help you.
Amen.
So what is one unique thing
that
you do with Believers Companion that distinguish you and make you distinct from all other platforms that do same thing that you do?
We promote God. That is it. 100% God. So there's something about Believers Companion, right? So I think I'm the only person, I think I'm the only blogger, I can't speak for another person, that doesn't charge money to upload anybody's song on my platform. I don't charge anybody any money. If your song is good, if I stumble on the song, because every day I look for songs.
Okay.
If I stumble on your song, I'll upload it without... But there is difference between upload of your song and promotion of your song. If I upload your song, most people, when I upload their song on my platform, they will now reach out to me to say, oh, thank you so much, I saw my song on your platform. I say, you're welcome. Say, how can you help me reach more people? You've moved from upload to promotion. So when you want to promote, that's when we'll say, okay, we can help you do this to get XYZ kind of results. So that's one we charge a fee for that, because that is promotion. But for upload, I think I am the only person. I think that's the unique thing, because I believe everybody is gifted in their own way. And if we have a platform that's a platform of a community of people who appreciate God's word, God's message through music, and I feel they should have access to it, irrespective of where you are sharing that message from. And there are a lot of people who are fantastic gospel musicians, but they don't have the opportunity to reach a lot of people. A platform like Believers Companion is a connector. People send me songs as far as KB, Nasarawa, Kogi State, all this far distance. They send their song, I'll play it on my platform, and someone in Lagos is getting blessed, and they've never met this person. And this person is not even a mainstream gospel musician yet, but their song is already blessing people in Togo, in Namibia, in Sierra Leone, where we have people who join us every day. So I think that is the uniqueness of Believers Companion that God is helping us to achieve, and by the grace of God, we'll continue to do that.
Amen.
Yeah.
So when you are not doing all of these things, when you're not behind the computer, trying to impact life, who is Akinboye behind the scene? What do you do for relaxation?
What do I do for relaxation? I miss football. I miss football, but these days it's just, there's something called me and my wife time. Me and my wife, and my children, my kids, I enjoyed my time with my wife. My wife, I want to shout out to my wife. It's not an easy job getting married to me. I won't lie to you. It's not an easy job, because I'm that kind of person that I'm very, from the things that I'm saying, you will know that I don't joke with my work, So I give my work 100% attention. I just want to do this. I just want to, I have meals. So I have meals, 1,000 something meals, 2,000 something meals in a day. And I just want to attend to everything because, and I have limited time, and my wife wants to spend time with me. She wants us to watch movies. I don't really like movies. I have particular kind of movies that I like, but my wife can watch anything. She wants us to watch movies. She wants us to go out. She wants us to do. So when I am not doing all this, I need to give that lady the time that she deserves, because she's trying in my life. Do you understand? Living with me alone, being in the same space with me. So I'm this kind of person that if you are in the same space with me, you might not like me. I'm there because I will not keep quiet. If I see anything that I'm already talking, do you understand? So someone that is always there for you, you are in her space every time. But when she wants to be in my own space, I might be doing something. I might tell her, I'm recording. You say I'm recording something. I can't do this right now. And, all these things. So I just want to appreciate her. Thank you so much, my darling wife. I appreciate you so much. And, of course, to my daughters, I want to appreciate them too. They are still young, but, they want to play with daddy. And I'll just carry them and drop them like this. And I'll just, do you understand? So, so when I'm not doing all this, I'm spending time with my family for sure. That is one thing I enjoy doing. So much.
So you can say that you have that work-life balance.
Do I have work-life? What is work-life balance?
Being able to handle the external with the internal.
That is work-life balance. See, let me tell you the truth.
Okay.
I don't have any work-life balance. I have a balanced life. That is just it. I have a balanced life. So, like I said, there are times when I will tell my wife, I need to do this thing. But there are some times when she wants me, and I'm looking at her, I need to do this, but I look at her and I know that no, this is the one that I need to do. So that is having a balanced life. It's not, I won't call it work-life balance, because that would be a lie if I say I have a work-life balance. There's so I have to. There are a lot of times when I have to change my plans. Naturally I'm someone that wake up very early. So I wake up 4:30. I don't miss it, 4:30 every day. So and I have a 9 to 5. I think I've not mentioned that.
Yeah, that is part of work-life balance.
So
how you are able to merge
I
all
will
of
not
these
call it
aspects.
work-life balance, because work-life balance means when it's time to do your 9 to 5, you are not doing anything else. You are just doing your 9 to 5. When it's time for family, you are not doing anything else. You are just doing family. I will be lying, because there are times that I'm supposed to be with my family. I'm with my laptop. Do you get it now?
Yeah.
But there are some times when I need to be with my laptop, but I'm looking at my wife. I can see that this lady really wants me. I will leave it and go and be with her. So that is not work-life balance, right? But I will call it a balanced life. A balanced life is when you know that this particular time you just need to do this particular thing. Work-life balance to me, except if it means something else, is that if it is time for your computer, there's nothing anybody can tell you is the time for your computer. They should understand. When it's that you are disciplined enough to know that this time is for movies. It's for movies. 2 hours, you are just going to watch movies. You are not going to. I will attend to other things. In between, I will stand up and go and check mail. In between, so that's not work-life balance. But I think I will call it a balanced life, in the sense that I know when to stand up to go and check the mail. Probably my wife will say, "You are not watching again." I'm watching. No, I just want to check something, and then I'll come back. Or I'm working on something. I'm working on this. I need to work on this, but my wife is looking at me like, and I know you just have to leave this thing to go and meet her. So if you call it work-life balance, well, if that's what fits your narrative, well, but I think it's not, because if you are not strict with something, you can't say you have a work. For example, some people go to the gym. When it's time for gym, even if they have a meeting in the office, they'll probably go to the gym.
Yeah.
And when they come, probably HR is saying, "Oh, you're supposed to be in social meeting." They will tell you, "It's my free time." Do you understand? Or probably they are in the office, they have a 2 hours break. I don't think I've ever taken a break before. I'm always on my desk. Do you understand? So you can't say I have a work-life balance. I don't say, "Oh, my computer is hibernated. Why are you not working?" This is my break time. There are people who are like that, who set boundaries, who said, "I don't set boundaries."
So you are working around the clock.
I work. That's why I say it's a balanced life. I'm struggling to explain it, but it's a balanced life in the sense that if during my break there's something that I need to do in the office, I will do it.
Yeah.
Do you understand? I will do it. But there are times when there's nothing to be done and it's not my break and I'm taking a nap. Do you understand? But there's nothing to be done. So when my boss come and say, "Oh man, come and do this thing," I don't stand up, I don't go do them. Do you understand? I don't think there had ever been days that I told my boss that, "No, I'm not, I'm on break."
Yeah, on break.
Do you understand? So because the reason why I'm answering this question like this is because we have a new generation now who take terms like work-life balance and overflog it. There is a thin line between you standing for your rights and being irresponsible. Let's be sincere. I know I'm going to get a lot of stick about this, but it's just the truth. There's a thin line. If you're working in a place and you're entitled to 2 hours or an hour break, and during your break something important came up and they need you to fix it. Heaven no go fall. Nobody is trying to ride on your right. Fix it. There will be days that you are supposed to be active doing something that your boss will tell you, "Go and rest." Don't let us start saying, "Oh, work life, there has to be work life." HR, I have a complaint. What is it? My mental health has been affected. I don't have work life balance. My social life is dead. Come on now. And that is why I'm answering this question like this, because I know a lot of our fantastic young people, they always try to say, "Oh, there has to be work life balance. There has to be this," and relax. relax. Just live a balanced life. Anything you find your hand doing at the time, do it well. When it's time to rest, rest well. I sleep early. 9 o'clock, I'm sleeping. I don't watch movies till 1, 2. I don't. Because I know I'll wake by 4.
Yeah.
Even if I sleep 3:30, I'll wake 4. So because I sleep early, maybe 8, 9, if I wake up by 4, I'm not tired. I have energy to work till like 7. And then I go to work. I go to my 9 to 5. I close by 5. I leave 5. I come back to the house. I work a bit more. Then I have time for family.
Your story so far has been inspiring and educative. Looking down, let's take a trip down memory lane.
Mm-hmm.
What are the things that you say this your journey has taught you? What are the things you've learned from your journey all the way from the very first blog till now?
I'm still learning, though.
Yeah.
Learning is
It's a
forever.
lifelong
It's a
process,
lifelong
yeah.
something. So, what I've learned is that anybody can achieve anything. Like I said, I was not the most brilliant when I was in school. I was not the most brilliant, but I was the most curious. So when your curiosity, when it's very high, and you learn, you are patient with learning, there's nothing you cannot achieve. I think that's my life story. I am very, very patient with learning. I am very, very patient with learning. If I have not perfected a thing, I don't boast that I know how to do it. I will continue to do it until I perfect it. And once I perfect it, I don't forget it. So I will say my story has taught me patience is key. Learning is key. And implementation is the father of all. There's not anything you're learning in this life, look for a way to implement it. If I'm learning anything that look like it's difficult to implement, I will not know it. It's not as if I'm placing a course on myself. And that is why all these course titan, all these things, hey, it go be. Do you understand? Like, I will just struggle to understand to pass, but I don't see where I will apply it. So it's difficult for me to remember it. So if you teach me now, I write the exam, I pass. If you come again, you will teach me again because I would have forgotten. Do you understand? So my journey has taught me that learning is key, patience is key, implementation is very, very important. So if you are learning any skill or you have interest in any skill, please, as you learn, implement. Don't wait for perfection. There's no perfection anywhere. Implement. Start small. Grow with it. And don't stay where you are. So that is what my story has taught me personally.
Oh, I'm very honored once again to have you.
I'm very, very happy to have you. Let me say this before we close. I have offended you over and over and over. It's been years. I think it's more than 2 years now that we've wanted to do this, and I've been busy. Sometimes there was a particular day, I think you're on your way, and I had to call you that please, my plans have changed. So I want to apologize to you. Sorry, and I want to thank you for giving me this opportunity to share with your audience. I hope we'll have another opportunity to share more with them because, of course, everything we've discussed is how it is, but it's more robust than this. And I just wish we have more opportunity to discuss further. So thank you.
Pleasure is mine, because I think now is even the perfect time to talk about it, because now you have more things to say.
Look at this one.
So I'm honored once again to have you on today's podcast. To my listeners, thank you for staying till now. I'm very honored to have you here once again. My mentor groomed me. I've gone on to, I can say I've also groomed some people. So be an impact in wherever you find yourself. Use your gifts well. Make a meaningful contribution to the world. Till next time, I remain your host, Adetolu. Stay productive. Bye-bye.